Bullock? Apprentice, your arrival here is well timed. Who are you? I am Bullock. Bullock, a Jedi from the Enclave. I was sent here by the Jedi Council to investigate a killing that took place here a few hours ago. Communication does not pose a problem, as both the suspects and I speak basic and I was going to handle this case myself, but now that you are here, you could be an excellent opportunity for you to demonstrate how well you have learned your lessons at the Academy. Though you are not yet a full Jedi, perhaps you can assist me sorting out the truth from the lies. I guess. What do you want me to do? Listen to the stories given by the two suspects. I have brought an information retrieval droid with access to the archives, both of the Jedi Enclave and the planetary capital. I will use my wisdom and experience to offer you some guidance, but I will not solve the case for you. There is little benefit if you do not solve this problem yourself. Consider each man's account and check the facts with the information droid. Once you have gathered all the evidence you think you need, run through the possible scenario with me. If you are unable to come to a satisfactory resolution, then I will take these men to the Enclave and deal with it myself. According to the accounts of the participants, these three men were out here in the field earlier before the clouds broke. I find that very odd, for most people would seek shelter indoors when the sky is filled with dark storm clouds, as it was earlier today. But that is not the most puzzling aspect of the case. The dead man, Caldernetic, was shot in the back with a blaster rifle. A rifle was found lying near the body with bloodstains on it. It has been sent back to the Enclave for study. The two other men were found at the scene when I arrived. One was hand in gold and was unarmed. The other was Ricard Lustov, who was carrying a hunting laser. Both men say they did not do anything and that they came across the body, but both also accuse the other. Obviously, there is more to this than what we have been told. Is there anything else I should know? There's one last thing. When I arrived, Handon was holding his side, and Richard was favoring one of his legs. You would do well to remember this as we progress through the case. If there's anything else you need, I will remain here, and something or other. Journal entry added. So we're basically being a crime scene investigator. Jedi CIS? What?
Jedi Agatha Christie.
Oh my goodness, no. Shoo. Shoo, 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 shoo. Out. Okay, so... You're Ricard. You're Handon. And then you're Calder. You're the guy who was killed.
The first thing you go to is the dead guy?
That's one of the first things you go to is you look at the crime scene, okay?
The witness the crime.
Yes, ask the witnesses. I want to see if this had anything before I ask the witnesses, okay? Completely logical. Making sure this had nothing else new. He was shot in the black with a blaster. Blah, 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 blah. He was shot in the back with a blaster. Top of Zalbar as we spend time asking questions. Okay, Rickard.
Another Jedi, huh? Helping that Twi'lek investigate, no doubt. He seems stumped. I'm Rickard Lusoff. Maybe you can figure this out and let me get out of here.
Tell me what happened.
Well, I was out hunting Karaeous when I spotted one over here by the bridge. I pull out my rifle and aim at it. I couldn't see it that well, mind you, because the damn sun was in my eyes. So I shoot it and it drops. I walk over here and find Handon standing over Calder's body. So why don't you get this whole farce over with and send that whiner Handon to the prison he belongs in?
Interesting.
So, what do you want to know?
Bullock said you were limping. Are you hurt?
Well, I kind of sprained my ankle running through the bush before I found the body, but it's nothing that serious.
That's all for now. I thought he said he was holding his side. I might have that wrong though.
Ah, greetings. You must be assisting Master Baluk in his investigation. I'm Handon Gould. Perhaps you've heard of me?
Nope.
Well, I presume you wish to hear my story then. I shall tell you, of course, but there's not much to it. I'm sure that you'll agree that Rickard is quite obviously guilty of murder. You see, I was out here running earlier today. Yes, running. I do that a lot. Can't stand speeders, never use them. Keeps me in shape, too, you know. Anyway, I was out running on the other side of that bridge there, and all of a sudden I heard a shot coming from over here. I ran over and found this man Calder lying on the ground, dead.
Did you see the killer?
And I saw Rickard come skulking out of the shadows of the rocks south of the river, and I knew something was wrong. I hit my emergency button and called the Enclave right away. Well, there. That's my story. Now, please hurry this up and arrest Rickard so I can get on with my day.
Interesting.
How can I be of further assistance?
You're holding your side. Are you injured?
Injured? No, of course not. Why would I have been? Fit as a bathtub. I run. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Want to ask you something else?
How can I be of further assistance?
Why were you out here?
I was taking my daily constitutional. I just happened to be running by when I heard a shot. I ran over and found Calder's body lying there.
Do you often run around the plains?
Yes, quite often. I generally prefer running to anything else. Can't stand speeders. A healthy body will breed a healthy mind, as I always say.
That's all for now?
Of course, of course. Listen, if you need anything, I shall be glad to assist.
So, what do you want to know?
He was out here hunting.
I told you already, didn't I? Was hunting some Karaeous. Haven't seen many in the area recently, what with those Cath hounds acting up. But they're still around. Was in my blind a little south of here when I spotted one, like I said before. I shot, and pow, it went down. But when I come over here, there's Handon standing over the body and the Karaeous was gone. Now, I don't have nothing to do with this, so can I go now?
Not just yet.
Ah, so, what do you want to know?
Nothing more right now. Karaeous is a detective. He will find out who is in the wrong. That's what I'm trying to do. Information droid.
Greetings, apprentice. You must be the one Master Baluk has enlisted to help him with this problem. I am an information retrieval droid. I can assist you by accessing the records of both the Jedi Enclave and the central government facilities here on Dantooine. If you have any need of my services, please do not hesitate to talk to me. I have already retrieved some information from the archives on Calder Netic, Rickard Lusoff, and Handon Gould. I have also had time to examine the body of Mr. Netic. Is there any information you require?
Yes, please. What did you find out about the body?
My preliminary analysis of the body indicates that he was killed approximately 3 hours ago by a single energy blast to the torso. Is there any other information you need?
tell me about these planes.
These plains are rife with wild animals, not all of them benign. The Irias are mostly docile, but can easily be provoked to violence. Cat hounds, on the other hand, are much more deadly. There have been over 35 catalogued attacks on settlers by cat hounds in the last 2 weeks. A general advisory was given out 3 days ago to carry a weapon at all times when on the plains. Small farms and holdings dot the plains and can provide safe refuge for those in need. Is there any other information you need?
Okay, from the sounds of it, everyone should have had a weapon. Ricard had a weapon, but Holden did not.
Very well. I will
More
be here
questions
to assist you.
later. I thought he would have had more questions. I wanted to ask about these two
How can I
guys,
be of
but I
further
couldn't.
assistance?
Okay, this is weird. So far it's just he said, he said. I don't know, you looked weird.
Injured? No, of course not. Why would I have been? Fit as a bantha. I run. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Want to ask something else?
How can I be of further assistance?
What did you see happen?
Well, actually, I didn't see anything. I was over across the bridge. I heard a shot and came over. I can tell you I was sure surprised to see Calder's body lying there. I just got here when I saw Rickard coming out of the rocks holding his blaster. I was terrified. I had no idea what he was going to do, so I hit my emergency button and called the Enclave. Master Baluk came out here with his droid and started questioning us. I think he really doesn't understand what's going on. I hope that you'll be able to make a more informed decision and get me out of here soon. I have things I have to do.
Want to ask something else?
How can I be of further assistance?
I already asked why you were out here and holding your side.
Of course.
Nothing more for
So
now.
if you need anything, I shall be glad to assist.
So, what do you want to know?
What did you see happen?
Well, I was out hunting Karaeous south of here, and I saw one over by the bridge. The sun was pretty much right behind it, though, so I couldn't see it none too clearly. I shot, and when I came over here, I found Handon standing over the body, holding his side. There wasn't an Karaeous in sight, and I think he might have taken it. Calder must have been hunting it himself, because there was a rifle lying close to the body. Bullock's got that now. Mine, too. I want that back.
Okay, that's all
Right.
for now. What have you found out? Yes, is there something I can do to help you in this investigation? Tell me... actually... I want to discuss the murder. Very well, we should start at the beginning. If we find the truth behind each piece of the puzzle, we will no doubt resolve the case. Handon said that he was nearby and heard a shot and ran over, only to find Calder already dead. He said Rickard came out of the shadows of the rocks holding a blaster in his hands. Rickard said that he was hunting Karaeous, saw one through the glare of the sun and shot at it. It is possible that Rickard may have shot Calder accidentally and Handon might have found the body, but that sounds a very unlikely explanation. It is more likely that at least one of them is lying. Obviously, one of these men is not telling us something, but where does the truth lie? I do not know at the moment, because no one's giving me any actual stuff to prove. Perhaps we should examine the witness's story more closely. Also, you can always speak to the information retrieval droid to gain data on the Jedi Enclave that pertains to this case. I tried. I have no way to actually corroborate any information at the moment.
Is there any other information you need?
All of it!
My preliminary analysis of... Is there any other... These plains are rife with wild... There have been over 35 small farms and holdings. Is there any other information?
That's all you're giving me? That's nothing.
Very well.
How can I be of further assistance?
What did you see happen?
Well, actually, I didn't see anything. I was over across the bridge. I heard a shot and came over. I just got here when I saw Rickard coming out of the rocks holding his blaster. I was terrified. I had no idea what he was going to do, so I hit my emergency button and called. Master Baloo came out here with his droid and started questioning us. I hope that you'll be able to make a more informed...
I want to ask you something else. Why were you here?
I was taking my daily constitutional. I just happened to be running by when I heard a shot.
Yeah?
I ran...
Do you often run around?
Yes, quite often. I generally prefer running to any... A healthy body will breed...
You're holding your side. Are you injured?
Injured? No, of course not. Why would I have been? Fit as a bathtub. I run. I don't know if I mentioned that.
That's all for now.
Of course. Listen.
It's still just...
So, what do you want to know? Well, I kind of sprained my ankle running through the bush before I found the body. So...
What did you see happen?
Well, I was out hunting Karaeous south of here, and I shot, and when I came over here, I found Handon standing over the body. Calder must have been hunting it himself, because there was a rifle lying close to the body.
Well, that's all for now. Tell me, what happened here? According to the accounts of the participants, these three men came out here in the field together earlier before the clouds broke. Find it very odd. Okay, you're telling me the same thing. I will continue my investigation. Okay, wife, you had a comment.
I think you have to tell him that someone is lying to keep the case going. To get the Jedi.
But at this point, I have to blindly accuse someone of lying because I can't corroborate anything.
I understand. You are the logical person, so I'm surprised. That's all. Can I give you a hint?
No, but that's the point. Logic says I cannot tell who is lying because the information droid has literally no corroborating information, so I cannot verify or discredit either person's story.
Okay, I know, but hear me out. Because I actually caught this the first time
Unless the only thing I can tell is him saying his side is...
Okay, so, do you remember when the Jedi said, what was the condition of the weather?
Stormy.
Okay. Did anybody mention the weather in their testimony?
Neither?
Actually, no. Someone did.
I don't remember the weather.
Go talk
So,
and ask what happened, and pay very careful attention.
Surprising I missed that. What did you see happen?
I'm surprised.
Actually, why were you
I
out
told
here?
you already,
It's very
didn't I?
logical.
Was hunting some Karaeous. Was in my blind a little south of here when I spotted one. Like I said before, I shot and pow, it went down. But when I come over here,
Oh, he said the sun
I
was
don't
in
have
his
nothing
eyes.
to do with it. Right.
That is a very obscure fact. Okay, Rickard. Discuss the murder. Ricard is lying. Why do you believe that? It was cloudy, there was no sun glare. Yes, well done. It was very cloudy this morning. If it had happened as Ricard said, the sun would have not been visible. You seem to have caught Ricard in a bit of a lie. It seems I was correct in assuming you could help with this case. This lie doesn't prove Ricard is guilty, but I think you have taken the first step in unraveling the mystery. We should proceed on to the next point. We seem to find a motive for the killing. Maybe you should talk to the men about their relationship with the victim. If there's anything else, I will remain here. Okay, I have to be extremely careful about the extreme details.
So, what do you want to know?
Did you know the victim?
Yeah, I knew him. Hell, we've known each other for a good long time. Doesn't mean I really have to have liked the slime ball. Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on him. Especially now that he's dead. We actually got along pretty well most of the time. We just had our differences. We were actually business partners. We were involved in some orbit-to-ground transport operations for Aerotech. Can I leave now? I should probably be the one to give the news to his wife.
I want to ask you something else.
So, what do you want to know?
Actually, nothing more right now.
Right.
Out of my way, Zalbar.
How can I be of further assistance?
Did you know the victim?
I knew him a little bit, but I was not any sort of great friend to him or anything. I never really associated with him that much. In truth, I didn't really want to. He had a reputation. Very inconsiderate of family, I heard. But merely having heard unkind things about someone wouldn't make me want to kill him.
No one says you killed him. Yet.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit agitated. Why must we remain here? Can't you see that Rickard must have shot him?
Yeah, you're pushing that a little too much, dude. Want to ask you something else?
How can I be of further assistance?
Why would someone want to kill him?
Well, you see, Calder was involved in some pretty sordid business from time to time. More often than not, I've heard. Disreputable business practices, even more disreputable clients. I've even heard he had dealings with a hut here on Dantooine. Now, I bet you're wondering if I had any reasons to kill the man, but I tell you, I hardly knew him. I saw him once or twice, yes, and I've heard some pretty unkind things about him, but certainly nothing that would make me want to kill him.
It says you killed him, yet.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit
That's all. Actually.
How can I be of further assistance?
Nothing more right
Of
now.
course.
Ah, yes, a whodunit. A rather complicated whodunit.
Is there any other information you need?
All of it? Can you tell me about Calder and Rickard?
According to the municipal authorities near the Karaeous spaceport, there had been news of violent drunken activity in a cantina attached to the port. Apparently, a Mr. R. Lusoff was making accusations at a Mr. C. Netic about cheating him in a business deal. Jedi Tuka was dispatched to the scene and restored order. Is there any other information you need?
That made no sense.
Very well.
Wait, what's his last name? Oh, Lusoff. Okay, that is his last name. And then your last name is Gold.
Is there any other According to the municipal authorities near the Karaeous spaceport, there had been news of violent drunken activity in a cantina attached to the port. Apparently, a Mr. R. Lusov was making accusations at a Mr. C. Netic about cheating him in a business deal. Jedi Trooper was dispatched to the scene and restored order. Is there any other information you need?
So they weren't really friends. Eldar and Handon.
The Southwood Speeder rental business has records that over the past several weeks, a speeder had been rented by Mr. Netic and Mr. Gould. Is there any other information you need?
Are they both lying?
Very well.
You claim to run everywhere, but apparently you and the body both rented a speeder together? Discuss the murder. Handon told me he barely knew the victim. On the other hand, Rickard and the victim were business partners, quote-unquote. However, according to Rickard, they got along quite well. On the surface, neither man seems to have a motive for killing Calder. Handon is lying. He had rented a speeder with Calder. The Southwood Company's record did say that Calder and Handon had ridden a speeder together several times. This shows that he did, in fact, know the victim, but this hardly counts as a motive for murder. I'm afraid I can't accept your judgment at this point. Okay, let me try something else, since you didn't approve of that angle. Rickard is lying. They had a fight over business matters. It is not unusual for business partners to disagree. Well, that certainly is a motive for murder. The case is taking shape. However, we mustn't leap to any quick conclusions. Perhaps we should now focus on the murder weapon itself. You might want to see what information those witnesses and the information droid can provide you about the blaster found near the body. This is a surprisingly detailed little whodunit.
Yep.
So, what do you want to know?
You thought Calder was cheating you. That was the old thing. So I'm just going to go, what about the weapon found by the body?
That blaster? Never seen it before. Calder himself had a preference for Ichani weaponry. He had this one really nice light blaster rifle that he always used. Always wished I could get myself a rifle like the one he had. That blaster ain't it, though. Calder only had the one rifle, too, so he either must have borrowed that, or it's someone else's.
Aha!
So.
Nothing more right now.
Right.
You know what? I'm not leaving yet, okay? There we go. Getting Zalbar out of the way.
How can I be of further assistance?
What do you know about the weapon found by the body?
That blaster was stolen from my house last week. I never knew what happened to it. I hardly have enough money to afford a single blaster, let alone another. I can't tell you how important it is to have a weapon on hand with all these ravenous cath hounds around. Even an Irias can take a man down if it gets in the mood. Every settler has a weapon. It's our most prized possession. I would most appreciate it if I could have that back after you determine that Rickard is the killer. How can I be of further assistance?
Interesting.
Of course. Listen, if you need...
Information droid.
Is there any other information you need?
Is there a report of Handon's blaster being stolen?
I am sorry, but I seem to be failing you. I have searched and searched, but I cannot seem to come up with anything at all. I thought to find the record of the missing weapon report Mr. Gould filed with the authorities, but there does not seem to be one. Is there any other information you need?
Yeah, that'd be major oversight. Tell me about the weapon found at the scene.
We cannot get any more specific analysis from that sample, other than the fact it did not belong to Calder. Is there any other information you need?
More questions later?
I will be here to assist you.
How can I be of further assistance?
Okay, he has nothing that I can ask about.
That blaster was stolen. I hardly have enough money, even in Erie, I would most appreciate. How can I be of further assistance?
Nothing more right now. Do you have an extra question?
So, what do you want to know? Right.
Discuss the murder. The blaster is Handon's, but he lied about it being stolen. So he caught Handon in a lie. Interesting, but I think we may need one final piece of the puzzle. There was a blood sample on the weapon that had been sent back for analysis just before you arrived. Perhaps you could inquire with the information droid about it. Anything else you need? Okay, droid.
Is there any other information you need?
Tell me about the blood sample.
I have just received back an analysis of a sample of the blood found on the weapon. It had been sent back to the Enclave just before you arrived. The blood on the weapon is definitely not Calder's. Unfortunately, there was a bacterial contaminant in the sample that had been taken back to the laboratory, and it had become degraded. We cannot get any more specific analysis from that sample other than the fact it did not belong to Calder. Is there any other information you need?
Oh, that's interesting.
Very well. I will be here to assist you.
Oh, save? That little thing that I forget to do all too often? Okay,
How
blood
can I be of
sample.
further assistance?
Holding your side, are you injured?
Injured? No, of course not. Why would I have been? Fit as a bantha. I run. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Hold on.
How can I be of further assistance? But I realize this must seem like a motive to you, but I assure you it isn't. I dislike Calder, true. I would punch his face in, given the opportunity, but I would not kill him.
Punch his face in? Why?
My wife was cheating on me with him. I slept in my own bed while I was in the next room.
Oh!
But, as much as I may hate him for that, I could not kill him. It may have been my own fault for driving my wife away. I must try not to take the law into my own hands. I was just out running, trying to clear my head for the divorce proceedings, not stalking him to kill him. Running is not a crime. How can I be of further...
You wanted to kill Caldor for having an affair with your wife. Ouch.
Block off, maybe, sure, but not kill him. Oh my. I hope you don't find that incriminating. Normally, I'm not prone to outbursts like that, but Calder, Mr. Neddick, he was not a very nice person. Not a very nice person to me or my family. I had had my suspicions for several weeks, but had no proof until 2 days ago. It seems Calder was seeing my wife, right under my nose, no less. But, as much as I may hate him for that, I could not kill him. It may have been my own fault for driving my... I was just out running, trying...
Yeah? Ask you something else.
How can I be of further...
Nothing
Of
more
course,
right
of
now.
course.
What about you?
So, what do you want to know?
You thought Calder was cheating you.
Now, I don't love Calder, but we go back a long way. We run a suborbital shipping and transport company out of Garang Spaceport. We've been partners in that business for well over 20 years, and we've been doing just fine the way we are.
You can deny it, but there was bad blood between you.
Right.
That's it? Interesting. Discuss the murder. Assume the blood on the weapon I assume the blood on the weapon belongs to the victim, but I want to be thorough. What have you learned about the blood on the weapon? It didn't belong to the victim. That is surprising, so the blood must belong to one of the suspects, but which one? He just had a limp, but the other guy's actually holding his side. Why do you believe that? He is clutching his side. Handon has been moving oddly since I arrived. Perhaps we should examine him a little more closely.
Hey, what are you doing?
There is blood. Handon appears to have suffered some sort of blaster wound to his side. It seems there is one likely scenario. Rickard killed Calder for cheating him in business. While shooting Calder, he must have also hit Handon by accident. I kind of want to say they're both guilty because the one guy was lying and the other guy had reason to kill him. Nope, they're both guilty. A bold conclusion. One most people would not arrive at, but we are not like most people, we are Jedi. Still, I would like to know how you came to this conclusion. We know Calder was cheating Rickard in business, but what possible motive could Handon have for wanting Calder dead? He was jealous of good looks. Handon admitted Calder was having an affair with his wife. Well done. Both men had a reason to want him dead. This is my theory of this morning's events. Both men knew Calder would be out here this morning and each plotted to kill him. Handon found him first and shot him because of the affair Calder is having. Shortly after, Rickard arrived at the scene. From a distance he saw Handon and thought it was Calder, so he shot him in retaliation. Handon would have dropped his blaster, the one he found at the scene, covered in blood. He probably thought Rickard was going to kill him, so he called us, hoping it could convince us it was Rickard.
Damn you. Damn both of you.
That is enough. The culpability of both of you is in the murder. An attempted murder of Calder Neddick is evident. Additionally, Rickard Lissoff can be charged with aggravated assault and attempted murder of Handon Gold. I place you both under the arrest of the Jedi Order and will escort you both to holding facilities. Wow, Zula. You have done well. Obviously, you've been studying carefully. I will inform the Jedi Council of your performance in this little test.
You did good. You might just make a proper Jedi yet. Who knows?
Good day, and may the Force be with you. Oof.
lots of XP.
That is lots of XP, dang. Nice. Definitely gonna save after all that, and I very much have to get off. I've gone way over time trying to finish this whodunit mystery. Oh, okay. Exit game. There we go. Hello, I'm back. So, for Real Talk segment today, had a few different ideas of what to talk about, but what I've settled upon is spiritual warfare. And in a way, it almost kind of ties into the whole Jedi thing, because I'm playing KOTOR right now, and I'm not sure where to go, but this is what I feel like talking about. So, in the Star Wars mythos and universe and lore, the light side and dark side of the Force is pretty much universally known, and the fact that it needs to be balanced, an equal amount of light side and dark side for things to go well, is something I've wished was a bit different in the verse, because very much how it's geared is that the light side is good, the dark side is bad. The light side is virtue and goodness, and the dark side is evil, power, corruption, whatever you want to call it. And the fact that the Force needs to be balanced, good and bad, always just kind of struck me a bit wrong. Because why does evil need to be balanced with good? Because in the real world, you have good, you have God and Christianity and everything that's associated with that. And then on the bad side, you have, there's different ways of saying it. Satan, Lucifer, whatever, the devils, the demons, that I'll just say Satan. And you have Satan, you have evil, you have bad, and all of that. Only in the real world, there can't be a balance. There shouldn't be a balance. We are all called to strive for good. We're all called to strive for the perfection of Christianity, while at the same time knowing, because we are a fallen, sinful human being, that we can never attain it. We're not called to have a balanced approach and the light side, quote unquote, and the dark side, quote unquote. We're called to be good of people as we can be, knowing also at the same time that we are evil, fallen, sinful human beings that can never be good. That's why we need to be saved. That's why we need Christianity. That's why we need Jesus Christ and God to save us. And even beyond that, because it is impossible, it actually is very possible to believe in God and not be aware of the spiritual world, but it's difficult. But even beyond the physical, there is spiritual. And one thing that's been on my heart, and I can kind of sense in the world, and I've heard many other people talk about, is how spiritual warfare is increasing in today's day and age. The battle of light versus dark, and not even with Star Wars where it needed to be balanced, where you have the Jedi versus the Sith, but what we're battling is God versus Satan, true good versus true evil. And in the real life spiritual warfare, spiritual battle, there can't be a balance. There is no balance. You are either on one side or the other. There isn't even technically a middle ground. There is no fence. A lot of people say like, I don't want to choose a side. I'm on the fence on this case. There is no fence. There's the illusion of a fence, and I've heard it said that the devil owns the fence, and that's very true. He owns the illusion of that fence. In today's day and age, there is no fence, there is no middle ground, there is no neutral territory. There is good, there is evil. And whether you know it or not, you are on one of those sides. And all you have to do is just simply look around you at the world with a modicum of common sense and a mildly open mind, and you can see just how much evil is being accepted, how much evil is being celebrated, how good is being called evil, evil is being called good. I mean, in some cases, up is being called down, down is being calling up, left, right, left. Everything is a complete and total mess. Everything is chaos. Everything is not as it should be. And the sad thing, if you are aware of it all, it's all by design. Satan's greatest desire is to destroy everything God created. And if he cannot outright destroy it, he will do everything he can to corrupt it, to twist it, to pervert it. And I see that so much, and it hurts my heart so much when I see it, when I'm aware of it, and when I think of it, because that's not how it should be. That's not what it's supposed to be. It was many years ago where I gave my life to Christ and made my choice, and I've continued to have many trials and tribulations in life since then, as I'm notified of in the Bible more than once. The Christian life is not an easy life or a life of guaranteed riches and relaxation. Some Christians are blessed with that, but most are not. And I forget where I was going with this point. Dang it. I think this was it. So that's where I gave my life to the light side, quote unquote. And I started pursuing goodness, truth, justice, per se, knowledge, kind of all the good, many of the good tenets of the light side of the Jedi. But like any fallen, sinful human being, we're inevitably pulled with all the things that the dark side promises. And we're always in a battle of light versus dark. We always are going to be in that battle of striving to be good, while sinful human nature pulls us to evil. It's I believe it's a Native American axiom. Is that the right word? Axiom, figures, Native American metaphor, figure speech, whatever you want to call it, is where I heard of it first, that inside of every person is two wolves. One is white, one is black. One represents good, one represents evil. And this is framed in the story of an elder talking to a younger person. And the younger person asks which wolf wins. And the elder answers, the one you feed. And yes, it's a Native American metaphor, but it works so well in a Christian mindset and how the world works, because which side of your nature wins? You have the good side where we're striving to be more godly, and then we have the evil side, the fallen, sinful human nature. Which side wins? The one that we feed. Which side wins? The one that we devote more time to, the one that we give more attention to, the one that we nurture, the one that we push forward, the one that we act on more. So all this is a lot talking about spiritual warfare, kind of the two different sides of it. And there's spiritual warfare on the small scale of your own heart, your own life. Which wolf do you feed, to use that metaphor? Because we're always having to choose one or the other. We cannot choose both, and we cannot choose neither. There's many people who want to choose neither, but you always choose one. And if you refuse to choose one, the black will always choose itself. And then there's the spiritual warfare of society as a whole, where you very, very much have spiritual forces at work, spiritual forces pushing society one way or another. It is ultimately up to people to make that choice, all those choices, whether for good or evil. And many of us are actively being pushed one way or another. Good is oftentimes beset by evil forces, either as an attack or a test or a trial. It can go many different ways. Being aware of that spiritual battle going on helps to navigate the waters of life and to be aware of what's true and what's not, because then you can kind of see the forces metaphorically, one way or another. And to go back to another metaphor, always be aware of which wolf you are feeding. Always be aware of which side of your nature you are giving your time, your energy, your commitment to. Because goodness knows it is all too easy to fall to the dark side. So unlike in the Star Wars verse, where everything is meant to be in balance, there is ultimately no balance. Always strive to be good. Always strive for, quote-unquote, the light side. And resist the temptations of darkness. Bit of a ramble, but that's all I got for today. Hopefully this was a fun talk about spiritual warfare, kind of wrapping up into the Star Wars mythos as well. And I'll see everyone next time. Have a good week. Bye.